how do we do it? We have 5 kids at home, 2 dogs. My husband and I both work more than full-time jobs as we do a multitude of different things. And we also have time together, as well as me running a personal training studio at home. We've got a podcasting studio upstairs. But do you know what? Everyone asks us the same question, and it's so lovely. But do you know what? First of all, it's gratitude. I am so grateful. Less than 18 months ago, I was sat at home really lonely, felt really isolated. I was co-parenting my 2 daughters, so I didn't see them half the week, and I had my dog at home. I got him as well as an extra son because I missed seeing the girls all the time, and it was nice that they had someone to come back home to as well as me. And I lived in a council house on my own, and then I met Danny, who is the love of my life, my absolute soulmate. He was also in another little council house with his 2 kids, also single parenting. And it's funny because when you're single parenting or solo parenting even, people think you have company because you have the kids, and it is amazing, but you also need that adult connection, that adult company. And I think all of us just need love, and that romantic love of some sort can be so vital in our lives. Someone to just talk to, especially when, you know, the kids are either getting older and they're going out more with their friends, or you've got kids and you're sharing them with somebody else and they go there half the week. It can get isolated. So we often think, oh, well, you've got kids so you won't be lonely, or you've got all these people around you, you won't be lonely. But loneliness is how you feel inside as well. It's not just about the people around you. I know for me personally, having a full home is what I love. My house used to be a bit of a community house, because I lived opposite an allotment and people knew where I lived, and I was always cooking for people, feeding people. But then at the end of the day, it was just me, and I felt really lonely, because I felt like I was serving all these people, which was an honour, but then at the same time, didn't feel like I was serving myself. I didn't even bother cooking nice food for myself. I was more bothered about cooking for everyone else than me. And I trained, did lots at the gym. I got out a lot, but I just felt isolated because I'm quite an introvert anyway, so I need time on my own. But it's weird, it's time on my own, but knowing I've got someone to connect with. And then I met Danny, my husband, my absolute soulmate, love of my life. It all sounds a cliche, those statements, but he really, really is that person that you just connect with on such a deeper level. It was incredible. And for the first time ever, I didn't feel lonely anymore when I was with him, or even just knowing he was around. Even when we weren't together, I didn't feel lonely. He's actually away working at the moment for his Rate My Takeaway channel. And so I've got the kids at home, 2 dogs. The kids are still in bed as it's holidays. I've got little Athena here as well, who's having her morning breakfast. And I've just done a workout with my friend. I train people on the morning, personal training. And it's incredible to think how far we've come. So now I couldn't ask for more people in the house. Like, it was a quiet Christmas, saying that we only had 10 people each day in the house. Sometimes more actually, because the kids had their friends too. And it was hectic, but I have to take that gratitude to just remember how far we've come and how I asked for this. It didn't come how I thought it would, but being able to acquire 2 other children and have a baby within a year is just an absolute godsend. And so that gratitude, when I'm busy or I'm getting a bit stressed because everything's a mess, I have to remind myself of that. I prefer a full house and a messy house, but a happy house, than I would my nice little empty, clean council house. It was so much nicer when there were kids and there's crafting. We've got crafts on the table going on. I've got baby toys here in the background of the gym, and it's just lovely. But it is also funny because people also say, so what day is your like cleaning day to get on top of this house? Because we're lucky enough to rent this big house so that we've got enough rooms for all the kids. There is no one cleaning day. So my mornings, I've just done my personal training session now, my mornings until about midday will involve cleaning up because different kids go to bed at different times. We've got people in and out. I get tired on a night, so I always do most of my cleaning on a morning and tidying. So you come down, you think you've left it relatively tidy, the dog's done something, and then there's been one of the older children up and they've been eating and watching TV or whatnot. Been edit videos on the go, doing my work on the go, just walking around the house and just cleaning. And it gives me time to reflect, to pray, to have time for my own like sanity, to actually get my head in order. Obviously when we've got school runs and stuff, it's slightly different. We're kind of managing all that. Danny does a lot of the school running because he drives. But we are really a team, and that's why I'm so lucky. Whilst I do most of the housework and the cooking and stuff, I rely on him for the bins. So whilst he's away at the moment, I'll have to sort out the bin situation after Christmas. It's like one of the biggest things is the bins. Catch the bin men, see how much we can get him to take. But it's managing it between us. And don't get me wrong, I know how lucky, we both know how lucky we are to have met each other and not just be on our own as well in this. And I think that's just reminding the positive things. So when there's chaos in the house, and people falling out, or there's mess or clutter, it's like, well, would we rather a really lovely clean house, or would we rather this happiness? And just to keep reminding yourself of that. We then both have flexible jobs, which we're very fortunate to have kind of created ourselves. I work from home for the newspaper and also ghostwrite books and do personal training online. And then a few other things as well, and run a few businesses. Danny obviously runs Rate My Takeaway, where he presents that. We have radio shows, he works at the radio, he runs the radio station, and a lot of that is from home. Danny goes out more than me in terms of his jobs. I go out to a lot of baby groups, and I think for my own mental health, that's been really positive, taking Athena out as well when everyone else is at school, that we've got that one-on-one time, that I'm not just working or just doing this or just doing housework. That gives this structure in our day. And for me, it's not to get overwhelmed by the whole day. It's actually to think, okay, I need to do this first, I need to do that, and then I need to do that. And do you know what? I always make time for fitness. And it's something I've learned is my ultimate self-care, to train first thing on a morning, get up early so that before anyone else gets up, Danny and I get up nice and early. Danny goes in the swim spa because he's got that for his joints. We also go to bed really early because sleep is so key to manage everything, because as those of you know who care for kids, they are unpredictable. You never know what the day brings once the kids wake up, and it can be good, it can be challenging at times, but actually it can be really, really rewarding as well. But we know we need our sleep, so we do go to bed really early. And again, that's where we realise that we've got that time, going to bed at like 7 or 8 last night. But even just having an hour to wind down in bed watching TV, or bathing Athena, whatever it is, just that wind down time. So the wind up time and the wind down time are definitely our crucial points before we get on with a busy day. And also yesterday we had a bit of a planning meeting. We've been putting this off because we've got so much to plan this year. But actually Danny and I sitting down and sorting out what our timetables look like, our agendas, because we've got one car between us. Danny drives, I don't. He has a car. Well, I do drive, but I don't have a car and I don't want to drive. So it's trying to work out how I can get where and when. And I'm quite happy, to be honest. Now Danny's away, I'll get the bus. I'll walk most places if I can. And it's just working out that structure between us and really bouncing off each other. Like for me, this is Danny's time to go out and fly and shine. Whereas I'm more at home doing my work and I love it. And I will go out to present or do the odd documentary and stuff, and I love that. But a lot of what I've realised is my focus is the children, and Danny's focus is also family, and providing in a different way. Mine is much more nurturing, but then also keeping my own brain stimulated. And I realise I love fitness, I love writing, I love doing my journalism and finding other stories, and also my community work, and making sure we have a bit of a portfolio career that flexes around really, really helps, because I'm not having to think about, oh, we haven't got family really close by, so I haven't got anyone to look after Athena. But actually, I wouldn't want that yet. In the past, I've kind of tried to fit in with working life, going into an office in Salford, trying to find nurseries early on, and I felt a lot of pressure to do everything. And now I guess because I'm a bit older, we've got 2 dogs as well that always need walking on a morning, so Athena's in the sling taking dogs for a walk. I don't feel that same pressure, and I think that's where my life has been a blessing, because whilst I've had some huge challenges, when you do have many challenges, it makes you really appreciate certain things and values and the simplicity. Like we always say when we've gone through a lot of trauma, like the ordinary is actually extraordinary, because you're so used to these highs and lows, and you just deal with it. So in the past year, for example, what we've achieved whilst we've had lots of challenges has been amazing, which I keep saying to Danny, it just shows we're meant to be, because nobody else would have been able to just ride through it like we have. And we've moved in together, we've had babies, well, 1 baby, but we've brought all our families together, we've moved house, we've started Mr. and Mrs. Yorkshire YouTube channel, we got married, we went on honeymoon, we went on a Yorkshire honeymoon, day trips around the kids. I had some complications with Athena, so we've had a lot of hospital visits, we've had lots of stuff on with all the kids for their own needs. And then obviously we had Athena, we've done our TV work, we've done different bits, and you just think often when you're in it, you feel like, am I achieving anything? But then you have to always reflect back, and it's back to that gratitude, but also feeling like, what have we achieved? And we just think, well, for each child, for each situation, for each dog, you just have to only look back to see how far you've come, because so in a nutshell, that's how we kind of manage everything. And we know we're in a fortunate position, and we're so grateful for that, because we managed to build that together, and well, separately and then together, actually having very similar careers but different in the sense Danny loves his food and his grub. I love my health and my fitness. But we're both used to the media, but we know that whilst media is fabulous and we love it as a job, our main values are the same, and that's what really matters. Our love languages might be different. Danny's kind of does jobs and provides, whereas mine is much more giving gifts and showing affection, words of affirmation. But at the same time, our values for family first, everything we do is for our family, is really important. But I think what we both learned after neglecting ourselves and doing too much for our family is that we need our self-care. So we've had a few days which has just been Danny and I, whilst we've also had the older kids at home. We've just had some time doing things together at home rather than going out and about and always doing or taxiing, and we've actually just had that crucial time as a couple. And so within our year plan, we're also building in date nights and time together. So I'd love to know what your situation is at home, because I love finding out about how everyone else does it. But hopefully that's explained a bit. Anyway, sending lots of peace, love, and shimmies. I won't shimmy too much because I don't want to wake you now. Now you're nice and asleep. Anyway, have a great day. Yes. Sleeping probably until Papa gets home later in the week.